Acknowledging our discontent, would like to express solidarity and support with victims of massacres and prospective or overt genocides across the globe, the situation in the Ukraine, the recent escalation of violence in Darfur, the continued violence situated around Yemen, and perhaps most direly, the flagrant deaths enabled by aggression in the Gaza Strip. It is not a political statement to express support for a people undergoing such ruthless, cruel barbarism, and if one is to condemn the initial incident which motivated the current violent campaign, then how they can support more murders still is simply inexcusable to me. Different groups do not make for more or less legitimate tragedies, and revenge is not a valid cause for slaughter. If anything has encouraged me to stand with Palestine, it is the actions of the aggressor state Israel, which has the right to exist, I will gladly agree, but has no moral right to end the lives of Palestinians whilst decrying the murders of their own civilians. If Israel is accomplishing anything right now, it is the cultivating of support for the people of Palestine, and the least we can all do as mostly powerless players in other countries around the world, certainly us in the developed world, the least we can do, is to admit that nothing remotely justifies the IDF's actions in Gaza, even if nothing justified the initial Hamas atrocity in October 2023, especially if nothing truly justified that event, then nothing can justify the subsequent Israeli response. I consider Fulci's Manhattan Baby a fine film, though not one of his very finest. I drew the typical viewers in here so that they might hear this message, as I suspect they might not have viewed a video which specifically labelled itself with this specific intent in mind, so I placed it within an FOTD because, frankly, this is more important than some 20th century feature film. If you are often unsure about your stance on this issue, or more nuanced, that is now over. I have been compelled to believe in and support and stand with the state of Palestine, my motivation being the actions now of the Israeli military, and I imagine that any of you undecided or previously indifferent with a conscience will feel the same way. Do not aggress upon those in your lives or vicinity who have any familial or spiritual connection to Israel, though be strident and correct anyone who claims that the issue is a two-way street. As Norman Finkelstein has insisted for decades, this is not a complicated issue.